When you really were Nicky Smith?
That was in the past. Everything has changed now.
Yeah, and there's one thing that hasn't changed, though, I'll tell you that. He raised your boys like his own. Come hell or high water, he's a good father to Kevin and Joey. And he finally got the baby he's wanted all his life. You're gonna make me believe you're gonna take all this away from him?
Look, this divorce has absolutely nothing to do with his being a good father.
The hell it doesn't. Divorce affects everybody in the family, from the children to the grandparents. You don't believe me? Open your eyes. Look around here.
Oh, I should have expected this.
He's given you everything you've ever wanted. He turns himself inside out to please you. Ah, the vows, huh? Love, honor, respect. Things he said at the wedding. He gave you his word, Vicky, and he's never gone back on it.
And I suppose everybody else in this town is going to agree with you.
Honey, give him another chance. He's earned it. You're the only one with the guts enough to do that.
Well, I'm sorry I bothered you about the children.
Wait a minute, you hold on.
No, I didn't come here for a lecture, Asa, and I am not staying to hear one.
You are going to hear one. You're not leaving this room till we hammer it out. You are not running away.
But our love is the most important thing in the world right now, and you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that that love is dead.
Okay, Tina, I love you. All right? You happy now? Is that what you wanted to hear? Sometimes I look at you, and I see the woman I fell in love with, the woman that I married.
I am that woman.
I see this woman that I thought I knew. But then I realized that I never knew you. The woman I fell in love with never existed.
Cord, please. Please, I know I did a terrible thing, right? But I can change. I can. And everything is going to be fine if you just love me. It will. I know we can work things out.
You don't understand. I've just got to fight the way I feel about you, Tina. Because it's not real. The only thing that is real here is the truth and how you manipulated it.
The only thing that is real here is our love.
Our love isn't real, Tina. That is why I have got to stop remembering all the good times.
Yeah, but you can't, can you? That's it. You just can't stop remembering it. Honey, from the moment we met, from the moment we saw each other, we knew we belonged together. Our minds, our bodies were one. We are.
Not anymore, they're not.
And that first time we made love, you told me something that I am never going to forget as long as I live. And that is that our love is pure. And you're right, and that is something we can build on.
We can't build on lies, Tina. And everything that ever happened between us was a lie.
No, that's not true. And our love is strong, and I know that from now on, whenever you see me, you are not going to be able to stop wanting to touch me.
Don't do this, Tina, all right?
You love me enough that you wanted us to start a family, for us to have a baby, and that's something else that we can build on.
Look, I'm trying to get some work done, all right?
Court, look, all I'm asking for is just a little more time to prove to you that I'm not the person that you think I am. I'm not that bad, really. I'm not. Look, I did blackmail Lisa, but I did it for all the right reasons, don't you see? Not just out of greed. Because your grandfather denied you the legacy that you deserve.
Well, I don't want Ace's money. I don't want anybody's money, Tina. I work for a living, and I am damn proud of that. Just get out. Go on, go.
I'm not leaving here until we are finished. And unless you want to air our dirty laundry in front of everybody in this office, I suggest you shut that door.
My mind is made up.
Look, I know you're hurting. And I hurt too, but I did what I did out of love.
Fine. You're not going. I will.
It's just that you're afraid, don't you? That you're afraid of our love.
This is incredible. It's all right here.
I never should have trusted Tina Roberts. She must be the accomplice.
She set Vicky up.
Who is she?
Do you remember the red-haired woman that was seen in the hospital nursery after Jessica was born? Tina's the one who reported it. She started the Nicky Smith rumors, and as the letter says, and she must have helped Allison return the baby and made it look as if Vicky had turned into Nicky and stole her own child.
And she let that poor woman be prosecuted?
She had access to land fare. She could easily have gotten a set of keys to Vicky's car.
Why would she want to do that to Vicky Buchanan? Why?
I don't know.
Who is she, anyway?
She's Vicky Buchanan's half-sister.
Oh, you can't be serious. She's family?
It's a long story.
And she would want other people to think that her own sister was deranged? Why?
That's what we have to find out. Mrs. Perkins, may I take this letter with me? I'll see that it's brought back to you, I promise.
Of course.
Thank you. Now, please don't talk to anyone about this until I've spoken with Captain Moore. This is a very delicate situation.
I understand.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be in touch.
Listen to this, you know.
I know it's very tough on you, Vicky.
All right, I appreciate what you're saying, but I have to follow my own mind. Surely you must understand that, just as I will understand if you don't want to take the children.
I love the boys. It'll be a pleasure to do whatever I can for them.
Thank you.
Even though I'm helping you, I'm going to tell you something. My heart's going to break you go through with this. My instincts are telling me you're making one big mistake.
Well, then, if I am, I will have to live with it, all right? End of lecture, please.
You know, I'm thinking back. Not so long ago, you know, you gave me a lecture. Remember? Well, you said to me what I'm saying to you right now. Only then it was Pam and me, and right now it's Clint and you.
Yes, that's right, of course.
Wait a minute. That's one of the reasons, you know, I'm being a little rough on you. I should have listened to you. I realized too late that Pam was a fine wife. And I've seen a side of her that I didn't see in the marriage. I mean, passion and fire and determination. You gave me good advice, but I blew it. You know why? Pride. Damn, stubborn, Buchanan pride.
I'm very sorry. I've been so caught up with my own problems, I forgot about your divorce.
Oh, no, don't feel sorry for me. I mean, I haven't thrown the towel in yet. Pam will be by my side again. You know why? Because I'm willing to fight. The reason I told you all this, I don't want you to make the same mistake I did.
Well, I don't know the details of your divorce from Pamela, but I can tell you one thing. It's just not the same thing as what Clint and I are going through now.
The hell it isn't. We're on this earth 2 by 2. You and Clint belong side by side, just like Pam and I. And if you just open your eyes, you'd see that.
You're really quite kind and caring, aren't you?
I meant every word, Vicky.
Thank you very much for taking care of the children. They love spending time with you. I guess that says something about your character.
Yeah, and what about Clint's character? They love spending time with him much more.
Right.
Vicky, I'm begging you. Don't divorce my son.
I really hope things work out for you and Pamela.
Is that you?
Pete, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, how are you? Where are you?
Home. Home, Malakeva. I've only been here an hour, but I feel like I never left.
How's the weather?
Oh, 80 degrees, a gorgeous trade wind.
Oh, I hate you. It's freezing here in Landview.
Yeah, I know. I felt terrible leaving you at the airport.
Ah, come on. Don't feel terrible. Listen, does your father know I'm coming in?
I would say so. He's planned a little hike up the volcano for you.
Oh, I love climbing up volcanoes. Is it active?
Not in the last 300 years. I miss you.
I miss you, too.
Have you made your reservations? When are you coming?
Yeah. I talked to a travel agent. I figured it was time that I go to a pro.
Do you know that there were empty seats in first class? I was furious when I realized you were bumped for no reason. Pete, those people are obviously incompetent.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, I asked the flight attendant. She said she didn't understand. She said must have had something to do with the computers.
Yeah. Computers are flying the airplanes these days. Anyway, listen, I'll be on the 1 o'clock flight tomorrow, okay?
I'll be there to pick you up. Oh, Pete, I hope you love this place as much as I think you will.
How could I not like it? Beautiful lady, trade winds.
Oh, my goodness, you won't believe this. I hear the children. Dad must be bringing them over here. I mean, I thought he was going to take it a tour, but he must be bringing them for tea.
Well, listen, hang up. Go spend some time with them.
Tomorrow afternoon at the airport. Now, you have a safe trip, Pete.
I will. Goodbye.
Bye.
computer fella. That wasn't a screw-up. It's not what it was at all.
Well, look who's here.
You got a visitor. I'll be right outside the door, Miss Sanders.
What strings did you have to pull to get back here? They don't let anybody back here.
Warden Perkins told us about the death threat, and I want you to know we're doing everything we can to take care of it, and he's agreed to send you to solitary.
Can't believe you still care what happens to me. Thanks.
Of course I care. You don't happen to know or have any idea who wrote that letter?
No, it could have been anyone. They all hate my guts. Not one person in the stinking jail will even talk to me. This isn't going to work. The idea that Warden Perkins had about solitary confinement isn't good enough.
You'll be protected. You'll be safe.
If they want you bad enough, it doesn't matter. The guards get bribed in here all the time.
The warden gave me his assurance. And besides, it won't be for long, and then we hope to turn you over to another prison.
Well, what kind of a transfer?
It won't be immediate, but it's going to be a prison outside of the state. That's what I hope.
Just like boarding school, huh, Mom? Anything to get me out of your hair.
Oh, Jamie.
I'm sorry. I was just expecting a little more effort, that's all, when these guys are serious about sticking a knife in my back.
The problem is the fact that they know who you are, and they know about Matron Spitz and the crack factory, and they resent you. You're going to have to serve time, but at least you can serve it somewhere where they don't know who you are.
Face it, Mom. I'm not safe anywhere. And if I get transferred out of here, my records go with me, and the word will eventually get out.
It's a hope. It's the best we can do.
You could get me out on bail.
Jamie, the last time you were on bail, you tried to jump it. And then when you got a transfer, you tried to escape.
If you still had faith in me, you could at least try.
No judge in this country would let you out on bail.
Judge Prendergast would
Oh, Jamie!
He's been to our house for dinner.
We have
He
been
knows
through
me.
this. You tried to shoot a police officer. You cannot get bail. The best thing we can hope for is solitary.
Why did you even come here, Mom? If you didn't want to help me, what did you want to do? Sit with the others and watch me die? You storm in here like the cavalry, pretending you care, and when I ask you for help, you say it's impossible.
Bail is impossible.
You could do it if you wanted to.
State, you listen to me. The state has a list of charges against you, including attempted murder.
You're a lawyer. People get out on bail all the time before trial.
Not with a record like yours.
I've been in the prison library. I can cite you chapter and verse.
I can't ask for your release. Even if I could, I wouldn't.
I knew it.
Not because I don't love you, I do.
Yeah, I can see how much.
But loving you isn't going to make up for what you did. You've got to pay for what you did, just like anybody else.
But I'm not anyone else. I'm your son. You owe me.
Yes, you're right. I owe you. I owe you. I have an obligation to you, and I have failed. Your father and I have failed. All the things that we tried to instill in you, the principles and the values, we failed. And you know why we probably failed? Because we tried to help you too much, Jamie. Don't turn away from me. All your life, your father and I did things for you.
Like what? Like ignoring me? Getting rid of me every time something troublesome came up? Like sending me to camp or to boarding school? What the hell have you or Dad ever really done for me?
We gave you everything you had at all, and for what? So that you could get expelled from school after school after school, and then take drugs, and then end up in a place like this.
Oh, sure, Mom. Blame it on me.
Well, whatever we did for you, it wasn't enough. And whatever we did, we just made it worse for you. So I am not going to allow this terrible cycle to continue.
You want to know the cycle that I've noticed all my life? Every time anything happens to me, every time I get into trouble, you want to know what I get from you? Lectures on principles. What kind of a mother gives principles to a child who's lying there starving for love? Tell Dad that I want to see him.
Your father, whom you admire so much, doesn't believe you. He thinks you made up the death threat and put that note up there. Did you make that up, Jamie?
Thank you for coming by, Warden. I appreciate it. I know how busy you are. Sit, please.
I assume this is about your son.
Yes, it is.
My wife showed me this note that was posted on the bulletin board at the prison. I'd like to know why you thought we should see it.
Well, she indicated you'd like to be kept informed about your son's situation.
Well, that's true, but did you think there was anything particular that we could do about this?
It's a simple courtesy, Ambassador Sanders. If you prefer, stay out of it.
No, I was just inquiring, Warden, that's all. And you had no idea who wrote this?
None whatsoever, and neither does your son.
Isn't it a strange way, Warden, to finger a victim by broadcasting it throughout the entire prison?
Strange on the outside, perhaps. Prison life has its own rules. I can tell you, however, we're taking all possible steps to protect him.
No, I'm sure you are. What about the guards? What about the prison grapevine? Any word come through on that?
Well, so far, nothing. I'm sorry.
All right, then what steps are you taking to protect Jamie?
At present, your son's being locked in his cell with a guard in attendance. As soon as we have room, he'll be moved to solitary. It's not our usual practice, but we're doing it out of deference to you and your wife.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's the best we can offer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get on to my meeting.
Yes, of course. You go ahead. I know how busy you are. I will tell Mrs. Sanders that you had the courtesy to come by.
I'll let myself out.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Miss Tina Lord is here to see you.
You tell her to get lost.
Very well.
Oh, Ace, I knew you'd say that. Now, come on, you have to listen to me. Oh, Ace, all right. Look, I'm on my knees begging to you, all right?
Get up. Get up. What do you want?
You mean it?
I'll hear you out. Rather, I can't stand you groveling at my feet.
It's Cord.
I never would have guessed.
Oh, come on, don't be nasty right now, because I really don't think I could take it, all right? Look, I just want you to go find Cord and tell him that I didn't know anything about this treasure, all right? Look, tell him that I was just worried about him and Kate. I had no idea there was a chest full of gold doubloons in Dimitri's headquarters. Now, just tell him that, all right? That's all I ask. Tell him the truth and tell him that I love him.
Why?
Why? Because he doesn't believe me. Because he thinks I smelled money, and that's why I went down there. But that's not the truth, and you know that.
How do I know that? You're the one who made me rent the helicopter.
Lisa, I didn't even know where Cord was. You had to look it up in your computer, and thank God you found him. But if I didn't know where he was, how on earth would I know anything about the treasure?
You could have just said you didn't know.
Why would I lie? Look, I was so desperate then. I was so concerned because he ran off with that little home wrecker. I was worried about my husband. Now, look, he's at the Banner now, and if you hurry, I'm sure you can still catch him.
I am not going to my grandson with some tale of what a saint you are. Forget it. No.
What? You have to. You owe me.
I owe you beans.
What do you mean? I saved Cord's life. Look, and you helped me do it. I'm sure Clint told you how grateful he was.
As a matter of fact, I haven't even heard from Clint.
Well, you will. And when you do, well, then you're going to owe me. And you're the only one who can clear my name. Come on, Asa, please. Asa, just tell him that I didn't know anything about the money, all right?
You blackmailed me, remember? Do you think Cord's going to believe a word of mine to clear your name?
Are you saying you're not going to help me?
I'm going to tell you something. You deserve what you got, sugar.
Excuse me.
We're not through.
Yes, Adam.
Mr. Peter O'Neill is here to see you, sir.
Good.
You're actually not going to help me. I got down on my knees for you.
Show Miss Tina out and bring O'Neill in.
Certainly, sir. Come along, please, miss. This way. Neil, sir.
I got some questions and I want some answers, Asa.
You must have spoken to Pamela and Malakeva. Put your little brain cells together, you discovered I got you bounced off the plane. Put a little monkey wrench in your plans, did I?
You really think you could stop us? Who'd you buy off of the airline, huh? That little girl behind the counter?
I'm going to tell you something. You're in the big leagues now. I play hardball. Nobody takes my women until I'm ready to give them up. Not a moment sooner.
You're pathetic. You think after everything you've done to Pam, she'd come back here? Is that what you think?
Here's what I think. I don't know what your client's going to do one way or the other. But what I'm sure of, you will never land a prize package like Pamela.
Leave it to you to compare Pam to some fish you've hauled in. But I gotta tell you, I like a good challenge, Asa.
You got one.
Yeah. Well, then chew on this. Pam and I are going to be together on Malakeva. There's no way you can stop that. I got the tickets right here in my pocket. We're going to take a nice long vacation together, and we're going to get to know each other real well. You get my meaning, Asa?
Oh, yes. Be my guest. Stay as long as you want.
You got nothing to do with it.
I want to tell you something. When Pam lived with a man like me, she could never settle for a second-rater like you, O'Neill.
You're through, Asa. You've lost the best woman there ever was.
See, I never lose. I'm sick and tired of talking to you. Show yourself out. Oh, and O'Neill, I'm going to count the silverware.
Pete, don't go yet, okay?
Were you listening to what was going on in here?
Well, I was right in the next room. You were shouting. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, well, if you'd stayed any longer, you would have heard a death rattle. Look, I gotta go.
Oh, no, wait, Pete, listen, I heard you say that Pam was in Malakeva, all right? I've got something I have to say to her.
I don't think she's interested.
Well, I know that. I understand that. It's just that I want you to tell her that I am not angry with her for what she did.
You're not... You got some nerve, lady. You got more nerve than a kamikaze pilot. And you're twice as self-destructive.
Look, she practically told Cord everything. And now he hates me.
Wait a minute. You're gonna blame Pam for that? You lied to your husband about everything? About buying the island? About double-crossing and blackmailing Asa? And you want to dump this whole thing off on Pamela? Thank you very much. I'm not going to repeat a word that you've said to her because I got news for you. She's not your fall guy. I'm not your messenger.
No, don't walk out on me, please. Everybody's been walking out on me, and I've never felt so alone in my life.
And whose fault is that, Tina?
All right, I know it's my fault. I have no one to blame but myself. But Pamela's my only true friend in the world that I've ever had.
Was, till you double-crossed her with Asa.
I know, but he forced me to do that. All right, I had to do that, or he was going to tell Cord everything if I didn't trick Pam into taking that property.
What do you want, Tina?
I want you to tell her that I'm sorry for what I did, and that I want her to be my friend again, and that I'll never betray her ever again.
Pretty desperate words.
I am desperate. I think I've lost Cord for good.
You have a shoulder to cry on, is that it?
No, it's just really hard when everybody hates you, all right? Especially people that you care about.
Okay, fine. I'll talk to Pam, but don't expect any change of heart overnight.
Oh, wait. You are going to be with her for a couple of days, right? So you'd have time to maybe convince her.
Tina, I said I'd talk to her. I'm not about to plead your case.
Yeah, but you defended me when I was accused of killing your brother.
I was your lawyer. I knew you were innocent.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. You don't have to, like your clients. Is that it?
I really can't figure you out. But there is something in you that half of you is a great con person, the other half is a masochist. I mean, you must get some kicks out of being kicked around.
Well, you may be a good lawyer, but you're not a very good psychoanalyst, you know. I mean, I don't get any kind of pleasure from the way I've been treated.
Look, I gotta go.
Oh, wait. When do you get back?
I don't know. Why?
Well, maybe I should call her.
You should... What's this all about, Tina? What do you want?
Nothing. I just, I don't want to lose a good friend.
Uh-huh. Well, after listening to you, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe I could talk to Pam and convince her to forgive you. And, of course, after I do that, maybe Pam could call Cord, right, and talk to him.
Oh, Pete, that is such a great idea. It really is, because then if Pam forgives me...
I don't believe you! Yeah. You think Pam could get Cord to forgive you? You think the whole world is stupid? You think Cord is stupid, that I'm stupid, that Pam's stupid? You don't care about Pam and her forgiveness. You just want to use her to get Cord to forgive you. Well, I'm sorry. forget about it. I'm not going to say a word to Pam because we've got our own problems, all right?
Cord, sorry to interrupt.
Hey, Rafe, how you doing? What's up?
Tina's needed down at the police station for questioning.
What?
I tried to track her down myself. I thought you might know where she is.
What's going on now, Rafe?
Some new evidence has turned up, and we need to talk to her.
New evidence? About Jessica's kidnapping? Hey, has this got something to do with Allison's accomplice?
I can't say any more, Cord.
Rafe, come on. Tina has already told you guys everything she knows about that.
Do you know where I could find her?
Rafe, please. Tina has given me more than my share of surprises in the last few days. So I'm asking you as a friend, what is going on here? Why do the police want to see her down at the station?
Did you write that death threat yourself, Jamie?
Mom, I don't blame you for thinking that, but I swear to you, I did not write that letter. These guys in here hate me. I'm in over my head, and I'm scared to death. I know I've made a lot of mistakes, but I need you. I need you, and I love you, and I'm begging for your help.
I'm trying. Truly, I am.
I'll pay for everything I've done. I'll go on the witness stand, and I'll admit everything. I mean it, but please, don't let me get killed in here.
Jamie, I've done everything I can to make the situation safer for you.
Mom, you're not listening to me.
I have to go. I have to go.
Mom, I'll be killed by tonight. I can feel it. Mom, please don't leave me alone in here. Mom, no, please.
Oh, my God.
Come on, Rafe, what's going on here? Why do you need to question Tina?
Some new evidence has turned up in the Buchanan kidnapping. Evidence that implicates Tina.
You guys are really clutching at straws now, man.
I'm sorry, Cord, but it's there.
What kind of evidence?
A letter to Ruth Perkins from her daughter.
Oh, I see. I just assumed that you had to come out of a coma first before you could start writing letters.
Obviously, Allison wrote it before the accident. When I drove Mrs. Perkins home today, she found it slipped under the door.
So what did it say?
That Tina was Allison's accomplice. Look, I know you've been through some shocks over Tina's behavior lately.
Rafe, if you got a copy of that letter on you now. Look, I know this is out of line, but I'd like to take a look at it. Please, I'm going to need to see this with my own eyes before I start believing any of it. I should never have trusted Tina Roberts. She told me she would dispose of the valise containing the red wig, but then I discovered she put it in the trunk of Vicky Buchanan's car. I'm on my way to see Vicky right now and confess to everything, including Tina's part in it. If I'm in jail when you return, you know why. Allison.
Right. Yes. Are you kidding? No, of course. Sure. Thanks.
Hi. Could I come in?
By all means.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. This Just kind of a fantasy come true. I was just wondering how I could get a hold of you, and lo and behold, you appear in my doorway.
Well, I'm happy you're so happy to see me. In fact, I have to talk to you, too.
Oh, yeah? What about?
Cord. Clint, I need you to talk to him, convince him that I really do love him. And then maybe he'd come back and we could work on our marriage.
To hell with your marriage, Tina. What about mine? You were out to destroy my marriage as Allison Perkins' sidekick.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, hi, Katie.
You know where Mom is? You want to translate?
I'm sorry. Might as well start with that. That was addressed to Jamie and posted on the bulletin board at the prison.
This is horrible. Did the authorities know who wrote this?
No idea.
Well, what are they going to do about it?
Well, so far, Warden Perkins has offered to put Jamie into solitary when that becomes available. And I don't know, there's a possibility we could get him transferred to another facility.
Do you think that's going to help?
I don't think so. No, not really. I think Jamie's reputation for using female cons in his drug scam would just follow him wherever they sent him.
So he's always going to be in danger. Doesn't that kid ever think about the future before he does something?
Sure he does, Katie. Just recently he thought about it when he took those women hostage, when he broke out of the transfer car, when he lied to me all the time. Yeah, that kid, he thinks ahead all the time. Don't you think so?
Dad, I've never heard you so bitter.
Well, do you know why I'm bitter? Because I think, Katie, that this little death threat is all his own doing. I think he did it himself. What, hadn't that occurred to you?
I guess I just hadn't thought about it yet. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it certainly could. So your mother's over at Statesville right now trying to find out for herself.
How?
I don't know, probably having a heart-to-heart with him, trying to find out if his fear is real or not. Meanwhile, I'm sitting around here trying to figure out what the hell I should do.
I don't understand it. I mean, even if this is real, aren't you past the point where you could have any influence?
I don't know, maybe not. Personally, I'd like to see him sit in solitary until his trial, but, darling, that could be months.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be pleasant, but at least it would keep him alive.
Katie, come here, sit down. What is your gut instinct? He's your brother. Do you think that he would really try to pull something like this as a last-ditch effort to get out? Or do you think it's real?
I truly don't know, Dad.
I truly don't know either.
Help us, please, somebody!
Mom, forget it. The cons are all in the yard. So are the guards.
One of them wasn't. Jamie, what if I had been here?
Thank God that you were, Mom.
Oh, please! Oh, somebody help us! Please! We need medical help in here, please! Somebody come! Please!
Didn't you see how this was planned, Mom? Obviously, it didn't matter that you were here. That's why you've got to get me out.
I don't need to be convinced of that, Jamie. My God.
I know this is all my fault, but I hardly think that I deserve to die for what I've done.
This is Student Saunders! I want some medical attention in this cell block! Where are they? Help us, please, somebody!
Please, promise me you'll get me out on bail. Otherwise, I'll never make it to trial. Promise me that.
Hurry, there's been a son.
Son has happened.
My son, would you get a doctor, please?
Miss Anderson, you gotta leave.
I'm not leaving until my son is
Some
protected.
inmates did this. You might be next. Now, I'll
Please
stay
don't
here.
argue. Just go and get me some help.
I promise you, there wasn't anybody else.
See the wound here. Is this the weapon?
I don't know who did it. They just turned the lights out.
Well, I still think it's a crock. See, first of all, we were down in El Paso when Jessica suddenly reappeared over at Landfair. And secondly, we were in Jamaica when that police showed up in Vicky's trunk. Now, I know for a fact that Tina wasn't hopping some kind of a secret flight back and forth between Landview and Jamaica.
Allison didn't necessarily need any help getting the baby back. And Tina could have planted the evidence in Vicky's car before she left for Jamaica.
Oh, come on, Rafe. Tina was too busy trying to keep me occupied, not letting me find out about that blackmail of Asa. I know she can't run two scams at once. And as you cops would say, there's another thing. I don't think it's psychologically feasible.
Now, why do you say that?
Because Tina is not the most secure type person you'd ever want to meet. Since the day I met her, she has always been sucking up to Vicky for all kinds of love and acceptance.
Cord, I'm sorry, but she was just as insecure and needy when she was helping Mitch Lawrence exploit Vicky's illness.
But that was before she met me. Now, when we fell in love, she... All right, strike that. Man, I just can't believe she would do something like this.
Maybe she didn't, but I still have to take her in for official questioning.
Look, Mitch Lawrence, right? Now, everybody knows that he had some kind of vendetta against Tina. Now, maybe when he programmed Allison to kidnap Jessica, or maybe he told her to implicate Tina in this, too.
Cord, I have a hard time accepting the idea that Allison was programmed.
All right. So my theory's not too unfeasible, right? All you have got is some kind of a note that supposedly came from Allison, and you can't even prove whether or not she wrote it.
Allison's sidekick? That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. What on earth would make you even suggest that?
It's not a suggestion. It's the truth. There's proof that you did it, Tina.
Look, if Allison came out of her coma to point the finger at me, there's something wrong here, and Mitch must be behind it, so I'm going to go take care of this right now.
Allison is still in a coma. But she left a note, Tina. She left a note for her mother before the hit-and-run accident. The note was just discovered when Ruth Perkins got home. She names you in the note, Tina. Says she's sorry she ever trusted you.
I hardly know her. I mean, we met a few times in the hospital, and we commiserated about Mitch, and that was it. Beyond that, there was nothing.
Your final scam is over. Or are there 2 or 3 more out there we don't know about, huh? That haven't come to light yet? You blackmailed Asa, but that money wasn't enough, was it, huh? I mean, you could lose that. But if you could get Vicky committed, then you'd get your hands on the Lord Fortune, right?
Clint, I swear to you that none of this is true.
I'm supposed to believe that because you're saying it, Tina? I was there the first time you tried it, remember?
But that was all a long time ago. It was before I ever met Cord or married him or even fell in love with him.
You fell in love with him because you found out he was a Buchanan.
That's not true. I loved him the minute I met him, and that's why I'm here, to even convince you of that.
You set me up! Me and Vicky. You set me up. You knew your dirty tricks would ruin our marriage, didn't you? And I fell for it. I didn't believe my own wife. Well, she won't forgive me for that, so you succeeded on one front, Tina. The breakup of my marriage. Your goal of a year ago, right?
Clint, I don't know what I can do to you to prove to you that I am innocent. But I am. I am being set up here. And obviously by the person who actually was Allison's accomplice.
I don't want to hear any more of your lies. You're evil, Tina. You're evil. And I promise you this. I'm going to see that you end up in jail for this one.
All right. I'll concede it's possible that Allison was programmed by Mitch to nail Tina. But you have to concede it's also possible that Tina willingly helped.
Oh, come on. What would her motive be, Rafe?
Same thing that always motivates Tina. Greed. Don't you know that she had Vicky committed so she could take over the Lord estate?
Yeah, I knew that. Well, Tina would not try something like that again, Rafe. Come on, she had everything. She was happy, right? She had me, this real Buchanan. She had real Buchanan money. She was happy knowing that she had this birthright she was always talking about.
Yeah, but Cord, she must have realized that there was a chance you'd find out the truth. In fact, you started to unravel the lies before you went to El Paso. She could have hooked up with Allison then. Then you come back from El Paso, she got you out of town right away.
Yeah, she took that money that I wanted to give to Asa, and she bought this damn island with it.
Did she really believe that you were going to stay with her on Devil's Claw forever?
Rafe, I'm telling you, that's the thing. I honestly believe that she thought that was going to happen. I see that's the way Tina is. She gets this crazy idea in her head, and then she just runs with it. It doesn't matter. She did not get the crazy idea to help out Allison. You're never going to get me to believe it, Rafe. All you've got is this note, and there's no way you can arrest her just on that, right?
I probably can't. I need more evidence, or a confession. Look, by any chance, does Tina have a set of keys to Landfair and to Vicky's car?
I have no idea. She wouldn't need anything like that. Have you told Vicky about this?
Captain Moore said he's going to try and reach her and Clint about this, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm willing to bet that Vicky's not going to buy this any more than I am.
Don't count on that, Cord. She's been victimized badly by Tina in the past. And you...
Go ahead, say it.
Well, it seems to me, even though you've discovered recently that you've been a victim, too, there's still some love light in your eyes when you talk about Tina. Look, I have to proceed. I hope you're right, and that she's not guilty of this, too.
Rafe, my guts, the same one that Tina just finished kicking all over town, are telling me that she had nothing to do with Allison and nothing to do with setting up Vicky.
I hope so.
It was a flesh wound. It happened so fast, the lights went out, I saw a figure, flash of a blade, and then Jamie screamed.
Well, where is he now? In the infirmary or solitary?
There wasn't room in solitary. The warden thought he'd be better off in his own cell, with a guard there all the time. But how can we trust the guards, Charles? I mean, what if it happens again and it's successful?
I don't know.
Well, we have to get Jamie out on bail before his trial.
Bail? Judith, you're an attorney. After everything Jamie's done, do you know a judge in this town that would grant him bail?
None. It's got to come from higher up.
Mom, are you telling Dad to exert his influence on the governor?
Washington, if need be. This is our son's life we're talking about.
These are also our careers we're talking about.
How could this even enter your mind at this point?
Because something else has entered my mind. What if, let's just say, hypothetically, what if Jamie set up this whole thing to actually have himself stabbed while one of us was there?
Oh, you can't mean that.
Come on, Dad, that's pretty low even for Jamie.
Well, I don't know. I'm not convinced. And even if we found a way to get him out on bail, what would prevent that boy from just jumping bail and getting out of the country?
He wouldn't do that. He's not that troubled. He still has a conscience. He's been contrite ever since the arrest.
What about today, before he was stabbed?
The same thing. He's afraid for his life. He wants to change. Obviously, I'm the only one who believes that around here.
Mom, would you have believed it if you hadn't seen him stabbed?
Katie, I took a knife out of his shoulder. He couldn't have planned that attack. He could have been killed. Charles, you're obviously not convinced, are you?
No, I'm afraid I am not convinced.
Well, you're willing to have your son's death on your conscience, even if you're wrong.
What about the other deaths that might be on our conscience if it turns out I'm right?
I'm leaving.
Oh, no. You're not going to go after some other endangered species now.
The species is Jamie, and I'm going to find out if he really is endangered or not. He's never been able to fool me the way he can the two of you.
Good idea, Katie.
I cannot believe that the two of you feel this way. Jamie is not this crazy. I know that inside of myself.
Mom, listen. You're frightened because you were there and you saw it, and I don't blame you. But think what the press will do when they find out that the rich kid has got his powerful dad to spring him from jail. Let me make sure, for all our sakes, that Jamie is not pulling the scam of his life.
Hurry back.
I was set up, just as Vicky was.
Right. Who, Tina? Who? Who would do it? What would they get out of it? No, you're the only one I can think of who would benefit.
I can't think of anyone right now. I'm so shocked at this accusation, I can't even think.
You had access to the house, and you had motive. And you are guilty as hell, Tina. And I promise you something else. I'm going to make damn sure you don't escape prison on this one. Now get out. Before I lose any semblance of control, get out.
Clint, I swear to you on my husband and my father, I am telling you the truth for once here.
I said out!
Oh, hi. I didn't know you were there. You want some coffee?
Please. Charles, I can't wait for Kate's verdict. I was upstairs looking at photographs of children when they were young. Whatever doubts I had evaporated.
Judah.
Listen to me. It is not possible